the Jets in the wild card weekend?
Yeah,
Like
just
who
like
all is in and who all didn't make it?
yeah,
Like, okay. All right. Was it just Griffey and Piazza that got in?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Cool.
yeah,
All right. Want to get started?
yeah. Sure.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Pulse. I'm Sean McNiff,
I'm Ethan Winter.
and our good friend Brian Brennan couldn't be here today. But it's okay because, well, I don't. I was gonna say two's better than
He's
three,
a
but it's
bandwagon
not.
bitch anyway.
Yeah,
J.K. Brian.
I was gonna say two's better than three, but it's really not. But we got a short episode here coming up. We got Wild Card Weekend to kick us off. Uh, NFL.
It's in exactly an hour from now.
Yeah, Chiefs and Texans are about to kick off in an hour. Um, and then Steelers and Bengals are also playing today, and Seahawks and Vikings, and Packers and Redskins are playing tomorrow. So full weekend of NFL playoffs. Good news is the NFL playoffs is here. Bad news is NFL is going to end in a month, and all of college football is going to end in a month. Actually,
Well, college football is going to end next week
yeah, I mean
or
all
this
of
coming
football is
week.
going to
Tomorrow
officially.
or Monday, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we actually got a full weekend plus Monday of football with the national championship game being on Monday night. Alabama versus Michigan State. Real quick, who do you got there in that game?
First off, it's not Alabama versus Michigan State.
Or not?
Michigan State got shut out.
Yeah,
Alabama versus Clemson.
yeah.
Um,
Michigan State got beat
I
up by Alabama last week.
yeah, and got shut out. Uh,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but I have Clemson in this game. They've been playing well all season long. They have a perfect record, and they've had some. They've only had maybe one scare all season long. They've pretty much been able to beat teams pretty handedly. Even uh, last week when they were losing early in the first half, they still came out in the second half and beat who was it? They beat Oklahoma pretty handedly last week. So I'm rooting for Clemson, and I have Clemson beating the Tide.
Yeah, I think I got the same. I think Clemson's gonna win. I like their quarterback. He's very. I mean, I the only time I watched him was last weekend and during the North Carolina Clemson game, and he looked terrific in both games. He kind of looked like a Cam Newton esque type quarterback.
Yeah,
I don't know what year he is. Do you know what year he is? You know if he's going
I
into the
don't know.
draft or
I
no?
want to. I want to say he's a sophomore, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure,
But
but he could
yeah,
be
but
going into the
going back to that,
draft. Yeah, go ahead.
um, you mentioned the North Carolina game. Everyone thought that was going to be a good game, and just to add to my point that Clemson has been able to beat their opponents handily, they blew out uh, North Carolina for the most part. Although North Carolina did kind of make it close towards the end, but that game wasn't really that close um, as the final score indicated.
Yeah, North Carolina's a good team too.
Right. So I think that just adds to my belief that Clemson's gonna win or should win. Um, yeah, that's all really I have to say. Although Alabama's defense was impressive in shutting out Michigan State last week.
Yeah,
I
Alabama
don't think
did.
anyone.
Go ahead.
I,
Sorry.
I I don't think anyone kind of expected. Michigan State to be shut out, and they did that. So very impressive showing from the Crimson Tide defense.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good game no matter what, I think. Alabama did beat up on Michigan State last weekend, but Clemson did beat up on Oklahoma. So two powerhouses going at it Monday night. Should be fun to watch. Back to Wild Card weekend. Like I said before, Chiefs and
Well,
Texans. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, before we move on to Wild Card Weekend, I just want to point out how I called Rex Ryan and the Bills knocking the Jets out of the playoffs last week. I just want to point that out. You guys, when I picked the Bills last week, you guys were all laughing in my face saying, "Oh, there's no way the Jets are going to lose." And I'm like, if there's only one other team besides the Patriots that Rex Ryan hates, and that is the New York Football Jets. And there's nothing more that Rex Ryan would love than to beat the Jets and knock them out of the playoffs. And he did that. And
Yeah,
I just want to toot my own horn right here.
yeah, you're absolutely right. I think me and Brian kind of underestimated Rex Ryan's hate for the Jets. We knew he had hate for the Patriots, so we knew he was going to step up in the Patriots games and get his team excited. But I had no idea that Rex Ryan was going to get his team ready to play for a Week 17 meaningless game. Besides the fact that
Yeah.
he's beating his old team, which I didn't really see that.
I, I think Rex Ryan hates the Jets more than the Patriots because I get the
Now he probably
sense.
does, yeah.
Yeah, I get the sense from him that he hates the Patriots, but also respects him and respects them and Bill Belichick. But with the Jets, he just flats out hates that entire organization for the way that they kind of kicked him out the door.
Well, he got fired because he wasn't a very good
Right.
coach. So.
Right. It doesn't mean that he was he deserved to he didn't deserve to get fired by the Jets because I think he did.
Yeah, in his mind,
But
he didn't deserve to get fired,
right,
I guess.
right, exactly.
All right, so the Steelers snuck into the playoffs in place of the Jets. After who'd they beat last weekend? The Steelers? No, it wasn't the Ravens. Um, who'd they beat? Are you frozen? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Wait, who'd they beat? Oh, the Browns. Hey, you still there? Shit, the fuck is this? Must cool, cool. Hey,
Yeah, sorry about that, Sean.
okay.
um, but yeah, to go back to what you said, who the who the Steelers beat last week. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, it was the Browns. I just looked
To
it up. They
see
beat
who
them
did.
28-12.
Right,
Which
yeah,
which
that sounds
uh
about right.
which the Jets knew they had to win that game in order to get into the playoffs because I mean there was no chance of the Browns beating the Steelers.
Right, exactly.
But they
Uh,
didn't win,
yeah,
so Brian's pretty mad about the Jets not being
yeah.
in.
But
Um,
but being the fair weather fan he is, at least he still has the Carolina
I
Panthers,
don't know why you make
his
fun of him so much
adopted
for being a Panthers fan. He lives in
hometown
Carolina.
team.
He
I,
lives in
no,
Carolina,
I
and the
did.
Panthers are
Just,
15-1. I like the
yeah,
Panthers.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of a
Sean,
Panthers fan.
just let me explain myself here. I said
Okay,
his adopted hometown team. You didn't hear what that second part. Um,
adopted hometown team. I don't know
yeah,
what
I
that
mean,
means.
Like he lives there now, so now he's a Panthers fan.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why you make fun of him for that, but
Uh,
um,
I mean, it's just playful ribbing. You
yeah.
know, friends do that.
All right, so Chiefs Texans playing in about 50 minutes. Chiefs 11-5, Texans 9-7, but the Texans have the home field advantage because the NFL playoffs are weird like that. Texans actually won their division, barely pulled it out like the Redskins did.
Actually, no, they didn't. The Broncos won. Oh yeah, the Texans did. I thought you said
Yeah,
Chiefs. My bad.
yeah, the
Ugh.
Texans.
Yeah.
Um, so they're playing in Houston. ESPN forecasted it's 58 and partly cloudy, so it should be good conditions in
Well, I mean, they
Houston.
play in a retractable roof
Oh
stadium,
yeah, that's
so
true.
it's probably going to be closed regardless. Um,
So who do you got in this game?
I have the Chiefs. The Chiefs are coming in hot. Have won 10 in a row. Really, ever since Jamal Charles went down, they've just been red hot. And it's been funny because when Jamal Charles went down, everyone thought, us included, thought that the Chiefs would suck. But that hasn't been the
Yeah,
case. Uh, Alex Smith and Andy Reid, they're including the receivers in the offense now, which I think has made them uh, more versatile. I mean, they have Jeremy Macklin, and I believe Jason Avant. I might be wrong. I think
Jason Avant.
yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not sure if I could be totally wrong about Jason Avant, but I do know they have Jeremy Macklin, and he's helped their offense a lot. Um, and also the Texans. I mean, they made the playoffs because they play in a weak division. Um, and so I mean, I think it'll be a close game. I think a somewhat close game anyway. Um, I think the Texans would stay within striking distance and probably lose by a touchdown or so. So I'm going Chiefs 35-27.
Oh, you could actually put a score up there too.
Yeah.
I don't think the Chiefs are gonna score 35 points at all. Texans defense is playing pretty much unstoppable the last 6 or 7 games or so.
Well, I mean,
Um,
I think what could be a factor is Brian Hoyer. He has to protect the football. He can't make careless turnovers, and if he does, and the Chiefs have a short field, I think that's how the uh, the Chiefs could score their 35 points.
yeah, that's
Um,
very true. Um, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs too. I think Charkandrick West is playing very well, and I think the Texans um really only offense is DeAndre Hopkins, and he has
right.
Brian Hoyer throwing to him this week. So it he should be often the Texans offense should do all right, but I do think the Chiefs offense will do better. I don't think the Texans defense is going to play as good as they have been in the past couple weeks. Um, yeah, that's I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Texans won though, but I'm going to pick the Chiefs in this one.
All right.
Next game, what's the next game? Steelers at Bengals in Cincinnati, Ohio, playing tonight at 8:15.
It's supposed to be
Um,
raining there, I think.
uh, ESPN says 53 and sunny for the game forecast,
Huh.
but I don't know. It's supposed to rain tomorrow in Washington, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a minute. It's supposed to also be 5 degrees in Minnesota tomorrow, which is gonna suck for them.
Maybe it's
Um,
just cloudy and oh, actually, it it could start raining towards the end of the game in Cincinnati. I just looked at the forecast now.
okay, so
Yeah.
changing forecast. Um, so Steelers are 10-6. They snuck into the playoffs, like we said. Bengals are 12-4. They have been in the playoffs. They've been one of the best teams in the AFC actually, even without Andy Dalton for what the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, and AJ McCarron has played very well, very serviceable at quarterback for the uh, Bengals so far this season. And I mean, I know when he said that he'd like to be like Tom Brady, people kind of took that the wrong way and kind of laughed at him and whatnot. But I mean, he could be onto something, and it's always good to aspire to be the best.
Yeah, I
So,
guess
well,
or one of the best.
you,
um,
you know what I mean. I mean,
yeah. Um, so who do you got in this game?
I have the Steelers in this game, but I think it will be a close one. I don't think the Bengals are gonna not show up like they've had in the past in the playoffs. I think their defense is better. They have a more dynamic offense since Eifert has been more involved in the offense, um, as well as AJ Green. Plus, you have the two-headed monster of Giovanni Bernard and Jeremy Hill at running back. And all AJ McCann really has to do is he can't turn the ball over, and he just needs to manage the game the best he can. Because I think that defense um, could potentially do enough to at least limit the Steelers' offense, which is at without D'Angelo Williams. They do have Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant, but Bryant has kind of been a Jekyll and Hyde at times this season where he'd have a big game and then he would just not show up. Talking from experience in the championship game, I had Martavis Bryant starting at wide receiver. He puts up a giant goose egg, and I end up losing by what 18 points or something
I don't know.
to, to Dylan. So, as a
yeah,
frustrated fantasy owner, I understand the Jekyll and Hyde effect of Martavis Bryant. Plus, Ben Roethlisberger kind of called MB out a bit. I don't know exactly what he said, what Roethlisberger said, but I do know that Big Ben called out Martavis Bryant. So that could be an interesting um, scenario to watch.
yeah. Martavis Bryant can give you, well, in fantasy terms, he can give
Right.
you 20 points easily, or he can just give you 2 points on a
Or
regular
zero.
basis, or
Uh,
zero in your
yeah.
case.
yes. Um, so it's going to be interesting, but I think the Steelers' offense is just is too explosive. So I do think the Steelers are going to win. I'm going to go 28-23.
Yeah, I'm gonna also go with the Steelers. It's reluctantly because they don't have D'Angelo Williams playing this week, but they do have two solid slash okay running backs in Dre Archer and Jordan Todman. I believe Todman's been not like D'Angelo Williams solid, but he's been a pretty solid running back that can pick up 3 or 4 yards when they need to. And also, I think the Steelers are just going to jump out to an early lead and force AJ McCarron to throw the ball, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it, even though the Steelers defense isn't great like it used to be. I just don't think AJ McCarron's that good of a quarterback to be able to come back um, in the playoffs. And also, even if it comes down to the wire, Ben Roethlisberger is a way more clutch quarterback than AJ McCarron.
And he's
So,
proven too. He's won a couple
yeah,
Super
and
Bowls.
he's proven. AJ McCarron is not proven at all in the NFL, at least. So I'm taking the Steelers also. As of a score, I want to say it's like going to be a high scoring game, but I don't know. So I'm going to say 27-17 Steelers.
and with McCarron, when he won those two national championships with Alabama, he I believe he had Mark Ingram as his running back, and he also benefited from a great Bama defense also. So I think
Right,
he wasn't the reason why Alabama won those two national championships.
right.
He just
But
happened to
uh,
be on the
but
team.
he was great at not turning the ball over and clock
Right.
management, which is what you saying he needs to do. All right. So tomorrow's games: Seahawks at Vikings. Like I said before, it's going to be 5 degrees in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and January. Of course, it's going to be 5 degrees in Minnesota.
Yeah.
They're playing at 1 o'clock. Seahawks defense is playing outstanding. Seahawks have actually won like 6 in a row or something like that.
No, they've won. I think they've won like 6 of the last 7 games or something, or 6 of their last 8
So
games.
something
Because
crazy
they
like that. They've
did
been.
they did lose. They lost to the Rams a couple of weeks ago. I think they lost to the Rams week 16. Um,
Oh, right. Okay.
but they
Yeah.
absolutely destroyed the Arizona Cardinals in week 17, um, which was very impressive. I think this is going to be a low scoring game. Uh, Cold weather tends to do that, especially extreme cold weather tends to do that.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Michael Bennett is like the Seahawks starting running back right now. And Fred Jackson is the third down back. I could be wrong, but I think Michael Bennett is playing at running back also because Marshawn Lynch is out. And also they
Is
lost Rawls for this season a few weeks ago.
is Marshawn Lynch out? Because I heard
Yes.
he might play.
No, it was announced today that he was out. He didn't
Oh,
travel
okay.
with the team.
I must have
Uh,
missed that.
yeah, and so that's interesting. Um, that's an interesting scenario there too. But
Right.
I think Russell, it's going to be a Russell Wilson game for the most part. I think he's going to end up throwing the ball a lot, um, and I mean, it's going to be a defensive battle pretty much. Teddy Bridgewater has to protect the football, and also not give the Seahawks secondary any chances to make a play. So I think you're going to see a lot of Adrian Peterson this week too. But I have the Seahawks winning 17-10.
You're right. I think it's also going to be a low scoring game. And I also have the Seahawks because their defense is just immovable right now. Um, like you said, it's going to be 5 degrees. It's going to be cold. It's going to be defensive. Teddy Bridgewater isn't a great quarterback anyway.
I mean, I think he's good, but he just needs to protect the football and not get injured,
Right.
which he has a tendency to kind of do with like a lot of young running quarterbacks uh, find themselves in trouble with.
Yeah, I'm gonna also take the Seahawks. I'm gonna say 20 to not 14, 20 to 10. I don't even know if Vikings are gonna get 10 points. Well, they do have Adrian Peterson, so they should be all
Right.
right. Yeah, so 20 to 10. I'll stick with that. Last game, and certainly not the least. Redskins are playing the Packers in Landover, Maryland, at FedEx Field.
I
It's supposed to rain. I don't know. Let
Do you
me
know
check.
how hard is it supposed to be like a torrential downpour?
I don't know. Let me check my weather real quick.
But well, while you do that, isn't this is like a matchup between your two favorite teams?
Right. I am a pseudo Packers fan. Key term pseudo. I am a real Redskins fan. I just picked up the Packers a while ago because the Redskins have been horrible my whole life. but I will always root for the Redskins no matter what. Um, so I'm obviously taking the Redskins in this game. Packers uh aren't playing great. They haven't they really haven't been playing great since the beginning of the season. I'm not
Well,
afraid of Aaron Rodgers or the Packers at all today or
ever
tomorrow.
ever since that game against the Broncos, I believe that was week 7 or 8.
Yeah,
The Packers have been struggling, and they've been very Jekyll and Hyde. Um, and so I still have the Packers winning this game, um, because I just think that the Packers are they're just better than the Redskins. Sorry, Sean, but it's fact. The Packers are better.
it's not true.
It's more of who plays better that day. Um, and in the NFL, any team can beat anybody any given week. It's all comes down to the team that plays better that day. And so, I mean, the Packers have been my second favorite team. I've always kind of liked the Packers ever since Brett Favre um, was the quarterback leading the way, um, and so I have the Packers winning this game. I think it's going to be a close one. I think it could be potentially low scoring, um, maybe 16-13, but I'm going to go with 24 18 Packers.
18? How
Yeah,
how do you figure 18 points? I don't think I've ever seen that. Well, I
it
guess
it
two
happened.
ex 2 point
If
conversions.
it's windy, also in addition to the rain, you might see a few missed extra points
Yeah,
depending
it's true.
where the wind's blowing.
We did miss a extra point last week against the Cowboys, I believe, or maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know, but it was dreadful. Um, yeah, I'm taking the pack or the Redskins. Redskins actually did pick up Kerry Williams, old
I think that's
Ravens
a good
cornerback.
pickup.
Yeah, they've been injured. Their secondary has been injured all season, and Kerry Williams is, I think, a great pickup. Packers secondary is playing well, so I think it'll come down to two mediocre running games. I think Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers are going to do what they do, to an extent, but I think it's going to come down to two running games. I just checked; it's not supposed to really rain. It's supposed to rain all night tonight and into the morning. So it's going to be
A muddy
FedEx.
field.
Yeah, FedEx Field is going to be a mess. So I'm taking Alfred Morris and Pierre Thomas, who we just picked up to lead the Redskins to victory.
Hail to the Redskins, on to victory.
I think it's going to be probably 24-17 game around there, 24-20 maybe.
Yeah. So we're around the same score area on a lot of these games.
Right.
Um, and also Richard Rodgers, he's really coming to his own as a tight end. He's become one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets
He is.
um, this season without Jordy Nelson. So I think Richard Rodgers could have a big game this week also. But I'm going all road teams. Brian's going all road teams. Sean's going all road teams except the Redskins.
Yeah. All right, on to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza were elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame this past week. People were questioning which teams they were going to go in as. I don't know why there was a whole lot of question, especially around. I don't think there
Yeah,
was much question around Griffey. He was going to be a Mariner no matter what.
right.
But people were questioning whether Mike Piazza was going to go in as a Met or a Dodger, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he says here he got picked by the Dodgers in 1988. That was a long time ago. Um,
Yeah.
but I think it's pretty certain he's going to go in as a Met. And he
I
should be. I know him as a Met, so
yeah, I mean both teams or both players announced what hat they'll be wearing on the cap on the plaque, and it's the teams that you would expect them to wear. Uh,
right.
Griffey's wearing the Mariners cap, and I hope it's the S, the S with the nautical baseball with the like the compass. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Piazza going in as a Met. I think it's both pretty clear, a clear cut decision for both guys. But there was some controversy in regards that three guys, three voters left Ken Griffey Jr. off their ballot. Griffey still had the highest number or highest percentage of votes for any Hall of Famer at 99.7%, I believe, or
Yeah.
99.3%.
How do people not
Uh,
want Griffey in the Hall of Fame? I don't understand why nobody has gone
yeah.
in 100%. That just doesn't make any
Well,
sense.
yeah, it beat the previous high of Tom Seaver at 98.5%. Um, but I know Buster Olney. I think I've heard that he was one of the guys that left him off his ballot because he didn't vote for anyone because he wanted to vote for 10 guys, more than 10 guys. And
Oh,
so
okay.
his decision was, oh, I can't vote for more than 10 guys. I'm just not going to vote for anybody then, as like a form of a protest. And that makes total sense. Of course it does.
Yeah, I get it. I get that.
And
That makes
and
sense.
I hope you guys can catch on my sarcasm here. Um, but
Wait,
so
I
he's
didn't
one of the
catch on your
guys that.
sarcasm. Can you
Wait, are you
explain
being
it?
sarcastic?
No. Are you being sarcastic when you said it makes sense that Buster only wanted to vote for more
Yes.
than 10 people?
Yeah. No, well, yeah, I'm being sarcastic that he voted for no one because he wanted to vote for more than 10 people.
So why did he vote for no one then?
Because that's where my sarcasm is. Because it's just stupid. It's just stupid.
Oh,
He
okay.
voted for no one as like a form of a protesting against the BBWAA. Um, so that's what my sarcasm was.
All right.
Saying it made total sense to vote for no one if you couldn't vote for more than 10 people. Um, but yeah, it doesn't make sense to me at all. He should have gone in 100%. To me, Griffey was a no doubt Hall of Famer from as soon as he retired. Um,
Yeah,
and Piazza
absolutely.
and Piazza, I wasn't. I mean, it's obviously it was deserved, but to me, he wasn't an obvious Hall of Famer to me. I could see um, why he would get in, and but if he didn't get in, I would understand also. Um, but congratulations to both. Very much well deserved.
Yes, very well deserved. Um, all right, so you want to do the walk off?
Sure. Um, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to say congratulations to the Maryland basketball team for beating Wisconsin today. Although they're unranked, so it's not that huge of a win. But Melo Trimble did hit a late second shot, like 5 feet behind the arc from NBA range, to go ahead 63 to 60 to finalize and win the game. So shout out to Melo Trimble for being an absolute beast, and shout out to the Terps basketball team for being number 3 in the nation and one of the favorites to go to win the national championship this year.
All right, you're going to hate me for this,
God
but
damn it!
I just want to say now that the NFL season, regular season at least, is finally over. The stats have come out, and the Patriots still lead the league in least amount of fumbles lost. The inflation had no bearing on how well Tom Brady or the Patriots as a team did. Also, the uh, the game tomorrow afternoon in Minneapolis, the footballs are going to probably be around 9 or 10 psi because of how cold it is, which Mr. Roger Goodell is more than 2.5 psi below the legal limit. So I don't know if you want to start an investigation into that for the integrity of to protect the integrity of the game and the integrity of the shield. Um, yeah, that deflate gate. I mean, we all know from the beginning that it was a complete sham, complete waste of money, complete waste of time. And I think you owe the Patriots their draft picks back, and you need to give the Patriots draft picks back because the Patriots did nothing wrong in regards to Deflategate, you incompetent piece of shit.
um, well, I'm just gonna say this once again. Literally, no one outside of New England cares at all about deflated footballs. They've never cared about deflated footballs. The only reason we've never said anything is because fuck Tom Brady and fuck the Patriots. I mean, I don't care if they get disciplined, and go ahead. Um, so with that, hopefully Deflategate will never be uttered ever again in the whole entire universe. Um, so that's how we're gonna end this podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a nice life.